All right, so in this video, I'm gonna put together a complete full email design optimized for sales, for conversions, only using AI from A to Z. So I'm not gonna have any manual input other than actually placing the blocks that ChatGPT provides on the email itself. But other than that, copy design is going to be provided by AI. So with that being said, let me dive right into the video. So the actual product I wanna create an email about is going to be this one from this website store that I found just doing some research very randomly. So this is going to be the product, this jacket right here, which looks really solid. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna download the photo that I'm gonna use later. I'm gonna convert it directly here. Quick action, convert image into, that's fine. And then I'm gonna use our GPT copy wizard here to create the copy for this first email. All right, so it's gonna ask me what the store URL is. Let me provide that real quick. Yeah, I don't have any unique selling points from this brand. This is not a client, so obviously I don't have any documents or anything like that. So I'm gonna tell AI to just do it themselves, essentially. All right, this seems really solid. Yes, looks solid. Of course, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna keep it simple, right? Tone of voice, same thing. Go with that tone. So again, I don't have any documents from this client, so it's gonna basically take the tone from the website, essentially in this case, right? Which typically tends to be pretty accurate when distributing emails and just overall adapting the same tone of voice for congruency, right? So what's the angle of the email? It's going to be a simple product feature of this product, essentially, and I'm gonna paste all the info here. So it's going to be product name, product description here. Oh, sorry, here. So description, I'm gonna copy all of this right here, like so. Now there's a section that I don't wanna have, which is kind of a cross-sell. Let me just get rid of this section right here, and then I'm gonna click enter. All right, well, as you can see, tough as the mission demands. Okay, capable full strength, shop the G1 jacket, built from 100% capable full leather. In that vintage fur color, looks like history, feels like armor. Honestly, this is pretty solid. And there we go. This is the copy for the email. This is going to be the copy for the email. Of course, if it was a client, would typically change some things here and there. But just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna open a new chat here, and I'm gonna use this prompt that we typically use for email design. We don't have a GPT for it, but this is the prompt we'll use here. So pretty much create a professional product showcase image in square format featuring the attached product photo here. Let me attach it here, add photos and files, blah blah blah, text elements. So I'm gonna paste the info here, tough as the mission demands. Typically, I mean, honestly, sometimes the output is perfect and you can actually use it just right off the bat. Sometimes you have to place the text yourself. In this case, because I want to make sure I use AI for everything, I'm gonna use this right here. But typically, to be honest, for clients, we mainly use AI design, AI image generation for like lifestyle photos, stuff like that. But we actually, the designer will place the text, him or herself, based on what the copy is, right? As well, because that's really important. But just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna show you exactly the power of AI. And if you're a small business owner or email account manager, whatever it is, you'll see how easy it is to put together very, very solid emails. So I'm gonna put the text here, right? Very easily. This is really solid. Product placement. So this is where you need to be more creative as well. Well, the product labels, we don't have any labels here. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, this is where, just to keep it simple, in use, held by model, I'm gonna product display here, I'm gonna put in use, and then background and environment. So this is where you need to be a bit more creative. So in this specific case, I'm kind of picturing a sunset or like someone wearing this jacket right here, looking at the horizon or something. So background should be a dry orange desert. So the colors of the background should flow well with the colors of the jacket. The model the image should be looking at the model from the side, not him looking in front. Hopefully this makes sense as well for this specific. So industry specific elements, I'm not gonna add anything here. Of course, every email is different. So I'm gonna enter, I'll click enter here and I'll see the final result. All right, so this is the final result. It's not bad. However, I'm not a big fan of the CTA. So for the CTA, please make it bigger. Don't have corners. Don't have round corners, and invert the colors. So the background should be brown and the letters white. Yeah, that's gonna be the next. Let's see what the result is. All right, this is way better. Love it. So next step, actually it looks really solid, man. Like this as an email, at least for the hero image banner, it's perfect, right? Next step is going to be adding this right here. So first, I'm gonna ask you to create an infographic. Now, please create an infographic following the same style as the image you just created, so they can both be on the same email and flow really well. Here's the information. Here's the infographic copy and details. Sure. Yes. Let's do it. Important. Before, above the infographic, there should be this piece of copy on this piece of copy right here. Below the infographic, there should be this piece of copy right here. As you can see, this is completely off the cuff, and it takes very little effort if you know what you're doing, right? And if you have the right prompts, the right way to create copy, etc. I highly recommend you use our GPT-4 copy. If you essentially if you want access to this, please let me know in the comments, and I'm gonna shoot over the link on the YouTube comments, because this is a huge time saver, to be honest with you. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna press enter here and see what your final result is. Okay, as a concept, I really like everything. Actually, I prefer this like font style and stuff like that. However, as you can see here, we don't have congruency across the board. So we don't have congruency with some of these arrows here, as well as the fonts. They seem to be a little bit different here, and obviously here as well. So please use the same font style as the font used on the banner you created above. Also, make sure the font size and style is also the same in the infographic. The font, also not only that, but of uppercase and sentence case, and also the font size are not the same, or the style. We want congruency across the board, because across the board, same with the arrows. Some are white and some are, make them all black. Let's see what the result is. I actually like it. However, I don't like the fact that there's no space here, right? You know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna just get rid of everything except for this right here, like the infographic itself. Because I guess that's another, for now, it's not the best for creating copy that actually flows well with the infographic. So as I mentioned before in the beginning, I highly recommend you place the copy yourself. But for example, the infographic itself is great. Although this looks weird, leather. Actually, even with the infographic, you know what? Of the copy, just provide the product with that background. Because again, I've seen this across the board. I wanted to make sure we could do something here for this video, but again, copy is not the best. At least like the output when it comes to copy is not the best. It doesn't flow well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the copy myself, just like we would with a client. All right, cool. So I kept asking ChatGPT to provide, on the final result, to add more padding on the side so we can add text. And typically, for example, in this case, I would actually use the product provided by the client. But in this case, because it's low quality, then I just use what ChatGPT created. So for example, what I would do is have just the background. Just have ChatGPT provide the background and then just place the product on top, just there, actually it looks better. And obviously it's more one-to-one essentially. Right now, this is AI, but that's because, again, as you can see here, this is not, the photo quality is not the best. So for the sake of this one, I'm just gonna use this one right here. I'm gonna download it, call it second, because this is going to be the second one. The first image that we're going to use on the email itself is going to be this one right here. Let's open Figma and let's create this email. So first thing we need to do is create a frame here. So I'm gonna create a frame. Could be 1200. Well, yeah, let's put it like, yeah, let's do 1200 just for the sake of this one right here. And then let's add our two images, as well, like so, here and here. And so obviously, this one is going to go here. You know what? Let's have this as 600, right? Just for the sake of this video here. What I want to do here is have obviously the logo on top, but I want to have kind of a good transition here between those two segments. So I'm gonna use a rectangle here, like so. Click here, like so. Put this 100%, and then I'm gonna essentially use this as a transition. You'll see the final result is going to be amazing. So pick this product right here, this one like so, this one like so, and then so on and so forth. I'm just gonna do it quickly here, and as you can see, it is blending really, really well, looking really solid, huh? Obviously, typically the more the better, but you won't be able to tell the difference, So that's the background. As you can see, the actual, it's really good, and the actual logo can be here very easily. So I'm gonna go back to the website here, copy image. Hopefully we can copy this easily. Yes, I'm gonna place it here, centered, like so. And I'm just gonna remove the background here with a plugin. Remove background. And so, yes, this is the final result. Again, typically these assets are provided by the client, so it's perfect. In this case, I had to take them from the actual website, but still, let's say this is your logo. It actually blends really well. And obviously here with the fonts, again, every brand has different branding guidelines, etc. From what I can see though, this seems to be Montserrat. I'm pretty sure that's Montserrat. So I'm gonna use that font for the rest of the email. So I'm gonna place it here. And obviously, again, we need to have a good transition between these two. You know what I mean? So what we could do here is honestly, like so. It looks pretty solid. Okay, so here, what we could do is add a gradient here, like so. So it blends better, right? And this, maybe not this color, maybe something like this, for example, you know what I mean? And then here, use the same one potentially. The same gradient here, you know? So at least it blends better. Again, every brand is different. You have different branding guidelines, right? Now, I want to add the copy here. Honestly, this should be even like the actual jacket should be smaller because this was created by AI. Then obviously it's not super flexible. But let's add some product features here, right? So there should be 0 here. Yeah, I like it white, to be honest. So here, like so, and then have the copy here. So the first piece of copy is going to be, let's go back to the GPT here. No, not that one. This one right here. All right, let's do Montserrat. Click here, center everything like so. Should we go? Full color. Actually, you should go here. Makes more sense, right? For warmth. Next one is going to be, well, actually the first point, Cape Buffalo leather. So this could go directly on the jacket itself, like so, very easily. And then let's copy the text here. Next point is by swing back gussets for range of motion. I don't know exactly what that means, but just for the sake of this, I'm just gonna put it here. Right? Maybe this is a bit too big. Maybe 16 instead. And then here, let's move it to the side, right? Like so. Where are the gussets? I want to understand that, like. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So on the back, of course, just for the sake of this one, I'm just gonna leave it here. But essentially, it's just the back pattern here, essentially, of the jacket. Again, this is just an example email. Make sure your email makes sense and the kind of features you provide makes sense as well, right? Not an expert on leather jackets. Okay, and finally, let's do cargo plus hand warmer pockets. Sweet, yeah. Oh crap. Let's use this right here. I would have preferred if we had more congruency. Like, again, it's really up to the client itself, the brand, the product, etc. But I would love to have more balance. Like, for example, this one being on the same line as this one, but just because of the product itself, this makes more sense, right? And honestly, that's pretty much it. What last point is, if you want to have another CTA, you could ask ChatGPT to recreate the CTA only and then paste it here. So, for instance, if you want to have let's say we want to copy this same CTA. I'm just going to go here, right? Copy this same color, shop the G1 jacket. Another reason why I prefer to use Figma directly for copy is that, again, you can have more congruency across the board. This looks very similar, obviously, but I don't know what font they're using, right? And again, here, for example, you want to have like a very similar rectangle here, just same thing. We essentially, I mean, you could ask ChatGPT to have more space below, or again, you could ask ChatGPT to just only create the background here, and then you place the other elements, including the product photo. Because I was forced to use this one, then that's why I don't have any more space below, as I mentioned before, right? But yeah, you place it here, and then you just recreate the same thing we did here for this one. So I'm gonna do it just for the sake of this video. So click here, side to the side here, and then start copying the same thing. Next one, this. So it's gonna be that one, that one, that one, and so on and so forth. And then you get the point, you get the final result. And this is a full email we can definitely send right now. I mean, honestly, like, this is already solid. Honestly, like, only this section, and then somebody copy here, you could just get rid of this, and then add somebody copy here, either live text or on the design itself, just with the background. That'd be perfect. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the design itself. What we can do next is just come up with some subject lines and preview text for this email. So we can actually use our GPT here as well. Let's go. Typically, it's gonna ask you to provide like the export some data on campaign performance for the last, like, I don't know how many campaigns. I'll show you. So for this example, it's gonna ask you for the URL. Yeah, it's gonna ask you for a CSV export of your last 250 plus campaigns. If you've got it, of course, this is not a client of mine, so I cannot do it. So yeah, I don't have it. I don't have an export. All right. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the copy created. I'm going to copy it. Yeah. And I'm going to provide it here like so. Doesn't really matter. And then there we go. This is the copy we'll use. I really like it, actually. Not really sure about this emoji, but I really like this one. Even the preview text as well. Built for legends, soft grain, zero strength. Love it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video right here. So we've got a full email with copy, subject lines, design, everything ready. The design aspect of it's not perfect, but honestly, for the hero image, in my opinion, is perfect. So you can definitely use it as it is. This one, not so much, but I love the background texture. So you can, for example, ask ChatGPT to provide the, again, I've mentioned these multiple times, to provide the background only. And then you can add the copy yourself on Figma or whatever email design tool you use. So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.